Hello, welcome to today's lecture in which we're going to study about dispersion of light. What is dispersion of light? Basically, dispersion of light in physics, you have a white light. A white light is a mixture of all the colors of the spectrum. It is a mixture of all the colors of the spectrum. So each color has a different wavelength and it has a different frequency. It has a different wavelength and it has a different frequency, which makes up a very narrow part of the electromagnetic spectrum. I won't write the whole word electromagnetic spectrum. I will just write the short form of it, which is EM, electromagnetic spectrum, EMS. Yeah, electromagnetic spectrum. The thing is that white light may be separated into its colors by passing through a prism. It passes through a prism. Okay, let's say this is the prism. This is done by refraction, and violet light is refracted the most, while red light is refracted the least. This split up the colors to form a spectrum. Now this is how the this is how the dispersion of light looks like. One white light is passing through and then it is being refracted, and then the spectrum is being formed with 7 different colors. I know here you can only see the 5 colors, which is red, yellow, green, blue and violet, but there are 2 more different colors. So this is the prism, and through the prism the light is being refracted. One white light is being refracted. Now, the visible spectrum of light. There are 2 important points that you need to know is that red has the longest wavelength. And violet has the shortest wavelength. What basically is the visible spectrum of light? It is defined as the range of wavelength. Which are visible to humans. Okay? Visible light is only part of the spectrum which is detectable by the human eye. It takes only 0.0035% of the whole electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so when we talk about the natural world, in the natural world, many animals such as birds, bees and certain fishes, they're able to perceive beyond the visible light, and what they can do is they can see infrared and they can see ultraviolet wavelengths of light. Okay, these are the 7 different colors of the electromagnetic spectrum. The most simpler method of remembering this light of these colors is by Roy G. Wave. You can even do it in the opposite direction, but you should know that red should be the starting and violet should be the ending. So if you go from the opposite direction also, you can say it as Vib Gior. So I'll indicate the colors. R stands for the red color, O stands for the orange color, Y stands for the yellow color, G stands for the green color, B stands for the blue color, I stands for the indigo color, and V stands for the violet. R has the longest wavelength, whereas violet has the shortest wavelength. Now we will talk about monochromatic light. What do you mean by the word mono? Mono means single. Monochromatic light, there are several points for that. First thing you should know is light is a transverse wave. The different colors of light all have different wavelength and different frequencies, as we discussed earlier. Red has the longest, violet has the shortest. Shortest what? Shortest wavelength. Shortest wavelength. Light of a single wavelength or a single frequency or a single color is known as monochromatic. It is known as monochromatic. Is known as monochromatic. Now, when you look at this, you can see red has the longest wavelength. How do you know? Wavelength is the distance from one wave to another wave. So if you see here, this is one wave, this is one wave. This is the longest wavelength. And then similarly, orange color, the distance is decreasing. The yellow, the red, the green, the blue, the indigo colored, and then violet. So you can see red has the longest wavelength and violet has the shortest wavelength. So if you're starting from the violet, it has the shortest and red has the longest. So from the violet till the red, the wavelength keeps increasing. The wavelength keeps increasing. That's it for today's class. See you in the next lecture.